Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good evening fellow Fox fans, how the devil are we all? We're back again. It's Sunday night. The Opposition View show. It seems like only 2 days since we last did one. Good reason for that, because it's been only 2 days since we last did one. This is Leicester Till I Die TV, and it's the Opposition View show getting ready for Chelsea at home on Tuesday. It certainly is Leicester Till I Die TV, and welcome along. You can catch us in all the normal places. If you're watching us live, we are on Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube, at Leicester TID on Periscope and Twitter, and Leicester Till I Die, the group, if you are watching on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, remember, give that StreamYard link a click so it brings your name up, or just stick your name at the end of the comments. We want to hear your comments, your thoughts on the game that's coming up. And then we can see who we're talking to. Also, catch us after the show if you want to on your favourite podcast platform. Leicester Till I Die on all of them. That's including Google, Apple iTunes, Spotify, and Anchor. It is a small matter of Chelsea. Are we ready for them? Well, I'll tell you what, having watched that game this afternoon, I don't need sleeping tablets anymore. I'm just going to watch a replay of that game. Liverpool 0, Man United 0. Leaves us still in second, leaves me almost asleep. This game's got to be more exciting on Tuesday, hasn't it? Well, it is Tuesday, and we are back. I said 8:15 kickoff. Odd time, but I guess it's because of a match before. I'm guessing you know what it's like at the moment. We could be playing at 1 o'clock in the morning. Tuesday the 19th at the King Power at 8:15, and it's on Sky Sports if you have that platform. And we are welcoming today Alex, who is a Chelsea fan, and he's coming all the way from Belgium. Good evening, Alex.
Good evening, Chris. Thank you for having me on the show.
No, thank you for joining, and thank you for waiting through all that blurb that we have to do at the start of every show.
No, it was quite entertaining. I liked it.
Thank you. You'll go far. You'll go far. Thank you very much. First question is, I mean, you know, there's the hate for you as a Chelsea fan, like I said before, but there's the love for you as a Belgian, because we love the Belgians at the moment. Like you said, we've got Tillemans, we've got Pratt, we've got Castagna. You've got a good national side at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah, we have a great side. I'm really proud of my country in terms of football, because it's only been quite recently. Well, now it's been a while now, but before the World Cup in 2010, we used to be pretty bad. And then once we we got better in Brazil, I started following my team a lot more. And then I started following the Premier League because most of the Belgian players would move to England to big teams, and that's actually how I started following Chelsea when Hazard actually joined.
Right. Well, I was going to be my next question. Why Chelsea? But yeah, Hazard. I've got to give it to you. He's not a bad player, is he?
No. Well, I mean, since he left, I wouldn't say he's bad. He's received quite a lot of bad criticism from the media. But then again, he's been injured, and there has been the transition of the Premier League and the La Liga, which you can't really compare those two leagues.
Yeah, and I must admit, I will always like him. He didn't actually sort of win the league as such for us because obviously it's over 38 games. But his goal not only stopped Spurs winning it, but it did mean that the title came to us that night. So I have a fondness for him for that. But you must have a little bit of a liking for Leicester. Then now we've got sort of 3 of your Belgians.
Well, I was just gonna say, and I'm sure if any Chelsea fan is watching or not, they're not gonna like what I'm about to say, because Leicester is actually a team that I like to watch. They're pretty entertaining to watch. They have a good style of play, and I actually have nothing against that team. There's other teams in the Premier League that I hate a lot more.
Yes,
Tottenham.
Arsenal?
Yeah, Arsenal, of course, but a lot more Tottenham.
Well, I must admit, I'm with you on that one. I'm definitely with you on that one. Let's look at your season so far. I mean, you had a good season last season. Frank's first one in charge. We'll come on to Frank in a minute. Struggling this season.
Well, I thought we had a good start to the season, but what people don't really look at is the teams we played, even though this is the kind of league where any team can beat any team.
I think this year they can, yes.
Yeah, and we had a great start, I would say. But then, out of nowhere, we just started losing a bunch of games. Right now, we won the last 2, so I'm hoping it's a good sign for the Leicester game coming up on Tuesday.
Not too good a sign. I'm just looking there, and that's kind of the updated table after the ball draw at Liverpool. 35 Leicester in second place, Chelsea down in 7th. And I don't mean sort of that nastily, but you are your 7th with 29. We had about, wheels came off our wagon yesterday. And what a lot of people, sort of Leicester fans looking at that, are saying, last season, you had a transfer embargo and you had to play with the youngsters, and you did really, really well. This season, that's ended. You went out and spent, I don't know how many millions of pounds, and you're struggling. Yeah.
Well, in their defense, we bought, I think, would it be 6 new players in the starting team? If you look at it this way, it is also hard to adapt. It's hard to build a new team and make them perform really well in one season. So I would expect Chelsea to be top 4 in the coming seasons.
It is, but would you say you needed all those players after last season? I think you'd finished 3rd,
we finished 3rd, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Got to the FA Cup final.
It's hard to say because I do like the players we bought, especially Ben Chilwell, great left back. I mean,
we'll come on to him later, believe you me.
We started with Marcos Alonso last season. You could see that he was going down towards the end. Tammy Abraham had a great beginning of the season last season, but then again he went down. We had to replace him with Giroud, who did really well. Yeah. So they're kind of inconsistent, that's why I kind of understand why we bought all these players.
Yeah. Tony's just saying, good evening, Tony. Welcome along. 250 million spent. That's not a bad bit of money, is it? Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but you're coming to me from Tuscany, which I believe is in the United States. Welcome along. Fox in the house, definitely welcome along, and nice to have you. And Tony said earlier, which we're basically saying, all the hype and no action, Liverpool, Man United. Tony's mentioned here, Frank is sweating, and I have done this because it was going to come up at some point, so let's bring it up now. How long has he got? I mean, there's Abramovich is known for not putting up with managers. I mean, you can win an FA Cup and what have you, and still get sacked by by Roman Abramovich. Will he still be there at the end of the season?
Well, that's one thing I do not like about Abramovich and about Chelsea in general, is that we've had how many coaches have we had in the past few seasons?
Yes.
We never keep the same coach for more than 2 seasons, which that kind of pissed me off. And then Maurizio Sarri was a disaster. And then when Frank Lampard came, I had a bit of hope because he achieved great success as a player. So I thought he would achieve great success as a coach. And I still believe he will. We just need to give him a bit of time. I don't think they will sack him because he's too important for the club.
You say time though, but that's something that, and you know, I'm saying this as a Leicester fan. You know, we just of recent years have had a habit of getting rid of our managers. I mean, I did find it. I don't know if you ever listen to Talk Sport at all, but there's a guy on there, Jason Cundy. He presents the evening show. He's an ex-Chelsea fan. Probably before you were even born, probably. But he was having to go because, you know, Leicester sacked Ranieri after winning the league.
After you won the league, yeah.
Yeah, and yet I think you sacked Mourinho in exactly the same way.
The same season, yeah.
So we get through managers very quickly. Hopefully, we've got one at the moment that's going to stop. I think about Chelsea is probably the only team he's not been linked with because of his past there, but. Frank's got to start producing results, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so too. I was looking at the stats. So like I said, we had a good start to the season, but that's also because we played, I'm not going to say bad teams because no team in the Premier League is bad. But like if you compare to the Big Six, we had great stats outside the Big Six, but we haven't beaten a single one of those teams. And I think that he's starting to get a lot of pressure on that side. So I think once we have a big win in our hands, people will start having a bit more hope for him.
Let's be honest with you, though. It was only a few weeks ago that everybody was saying that Ollie's on the way out, and he's at top of the league now.
Yeah, exactly. So anything can change.
It's a funny league. Somebody's just having again Fox's focus, which is our Brad. Good evening, Brad. He's my post-match chum. Thanks for joining us. I think Chelsea have messed themselves up deciding to buy half the German league. Apart from Mount, the youngsters that did so well for you last season must feel gutted that you chose to buy, which basically I say was something that I was mentioning before.
Well, and Reece James, I think he received a lot of chances this season too. I actually agree with that. I felt bad after last season because again the youngsters did really, really well for us.
Yeah.
I expected when they bought Timo Werner, I expected him to play alongside Tammy Abraham with 2 strikers instead of putting Werner on the wing. So I hope that could change one day because I do not really like Werner on the wing because he's not doing anything. And for Tomori, another youngster, I feel pretty bad. And I think the rumors has it that he's going to be sent off or probably sent on loan somewhere. And I thought he did pretty well last season. So I thought he should have been given a chance.
Yeah, and Chelsea are known for having quite often more players out on loan than they actually have in the in your own team. But let's just have a look. Like you say, we'll have a look at the stats because between us, we've played since we were both founded as teams 117 times. You do have the upper hand on us there. You've beaten us 57 times. We've only managed to win 26 of those. And I think most recently we've struggled against you. You do seem to do well against us. Yeah,
we do. Well, last season was I enjoyed the 2 games we played last season. I think it was 2 draws.
It was.
One at Stamford Bridge, 2-2 at King Power.
Yeah,
and the one at Stamford Bridge, I thought Chelsea should have won that. And the one at King Power, I thought Leicester should have won that. And it's always great games between the both teams. That's why I enjoy watching Leicester.
Yeah, but as even in the Premier League years, so becoming more modern, we played each other 28 times. We got 9 draws, 2 of those, like I say, last season. You've got the 14 wins over our 5. Hopefully, that's going to end this season.
Well, I hope not.
You would do. You would do. You've obviously, like I say, you had a good transfer window. You bought a lot of players in. You're obviously happy with Lampard. You want him to stay as manager.
Yeah, I've got hope for him. I like him a lot.
I mean, he is a young manager. He's got experience. He knows the club throughout. He really is. When you signed him, I thought he was the perfect fit for you.
I thought we all thought that.
And
he's got the respect in the club also. That is also why I don't think Abramovich will even consider sacking him, because he's got so much respect and he achieved so much at Chelsea that there's no way they'll sack him.
Well, we will see. Andy Meadows, good evening, Andy. Avram Grant will come in to help Lampard. I don't know whether you remember Avram Grant or not. He wasn't one of. He was an ex-manager of yours, but he wasn't. It was again a while ago.
Like I said, I only started following Chelsea when Hazard joined. So
yes, he wasn't. He wasn't again the most successful of managers. Let's have a look. I mean, recent form here. If you're going on recent form, we're having a better time of it than you are. We've got sort of in the last 5, we've not lost. We've got 2 draws there and the 3 wins. You struggled, and I'm not going to knock Fulham because Fulham actually managed to beat us 2-1. But you've lost there, like you say, against the top clubs, Arsenal and Man City. You do seem to struggle for some reason against the top clubs.
Yeah, and that's something that I think needs to change, because I think that will be the reason for Lampard's departure if we do not perform, if we do not get better results against those teams. I thought, like, after watching the beginning of the season, when we drew against United and Tottenham, I thought those were games we could have easily won. So we dropped a lot of points there. So I'm hoping for the second round of Premier League games, we should be beating them.
Well, and how far do you think you can go this season? Because you're in the Champions League. And I don't say that without a hint of jealousy in my voice. having
it will come again for Leicester someday.
Well, we were there for so long last season. That's what annoyed us, right? We did not come out of COVID well at all when they closed down. But can you do well in the Champions League?
I think that we are going to prioritize the Champions League and maybe the FA Cup. I mean, last season was the first season since we last. I mean, before last season. We won a trophy every season until last season. So I think we should be winning a trophy this season. Whether it's the FA Cup or the Champions League, I have no idea. I hope it's the Champions League, and I hope Lampard is going to focus on the Champions League. We have a tough fixture coming up, though.
Who have you got?
Atletico Madrid.
Ooh, ouch. Yes. Yeah. Atletico Madrid raise their ugly head often in Leicester City's European history. We've had a few battles with them, but I can say good luck in the Champions League because we're not in it. So I'm just about you on that. You're looking at Leicester, and you say you sort of you know about Leicester because of the Belgian players and what have you. We did fall away last season, and it was quite a surprise how sudden that, how quickly we fell away, in as much as, all suddenly went wrong. Can we do it this year, do you think? Can we break into that top 4?
I hope for you guys do. I would rather see Leicester in the top 4 than a team like Man United or Tottenham. So I am rooting for Leicester, as long as they're a bit behind Chelsea.
As long as we're sort of one place behind Chelsea, and we don't beat you on Tuesday, you want us to do well.
Yes.
That's basically what you're saying.
Exactly.
There's been a couple of comments about this guy, so I'm going to have to sort of bring him up, because he was sort of a bit of a love-hate figure at Leicester. But Ben Chilwell, he went to Chelsea, obviously 45-50 million, depending which report you read. How's he doing for you? First of all, were you pleased to get him?
I was very happy to get him. I think the rumor of him joining Chelsea came after he scored against us. Is that possible in the 2-2 draw?
I think whoever your manager was at the time, I think went up and congratulated him after. If I'm right in thinking that.
And I thought that was a great idea, because at the time we had Marcos Alonso and we really needed him to go. I mean, Marcos Alonso did a great season in the one we won, the 2016-17. But since that season, he's just been going downhill all the time. And in a team like Chelsea, you can't afford to have players that go downhill. And so, yeah, when we got Ben Chilwell, I was very pleased to get him, and happy for him to score his debut against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but overall, is he performing well for you? I mean, it's quite funny because you can speak to Leicester players, Leicester fans, sorry, and there's a lot that just didn't take to him for some reason. But here he was, England's left back. I actually didn't. I liked him as a player, and I didn't want him to go. But you know, the money that was being quoted, it wasn't. It was a good deal for us. Has he? Is he performing for you?
Well, just like I said about the team in general, in the beginning he was doing quite well, and now we're doing a bit slightly less well than at first. So I'd say it's a team effort. I wouldn't necessarily say it's him only. And but I was pretty pleased with what he's doing. So I've no bad comments for him. Like I said, they're all new players. They're adapting. I think you need to give them a bit more time to reach their peak.
Maybe that, like I say, the next season when they've settled in, because it is a lot of players to like you say merge into the team.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got one of my daughters here. Apparently, my favourite daughter. I'm sure Hannah will have something to say to that. Hello, Heather. They all said they were going to come in and watch you. You're famous in my family. You know? Don't. I'll find the rumours out afterwards. You know. Andy says here, thank you for the 50 million for Chilwell.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we've got. Would you like Iheanacho? You can have him. You can have him for free. In fact, we'll pay you to take Iheanacho.
I think we're good with strikers right now. We don't really want Nacho, right?
Are you
sure? I'm happy with Werner and Abraham. Even Giroud, I would pick Giroud over Nacho any day.
Yeah. Excuse me. So, looking at Leicester, who are the players you fear from Leicester?
Maddison, of course.
Yeah.
James Maddison. Jamie Vardy, but that's an obvious reason. Tielemans, he's got great passing skills, great assists.
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it. Those are the players I really admire at Leicester, and those are the ones I will. And of course, Harvey Barnes, who recently has been scoring quite a lot and has been in a good form.
Yes. Oh, he has, and thankfully, he seems to turn up when Vardy doesn't. Heather says hello to you there.
Hi, Heather.
Can't keep her off this. Tielemans and Pratt, I don't know if you've seen sort of them both or you saw them, but follow them before they came to Leicester. Tielemans, he seems to be sort of a regular starter for Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Pratt seems to be more sort of on the sidelines, coming in when we need him, going out. He's just got injured. Who do you rate more out of the two, Tielemans or Pratt?
Definitely Tielemans. Tielemans is. I discovered him when he also made his debut in Belgium when he came on, and I think he scored a goal. He did really well. I was amazed with him. At the time, he was playing at Monaco. Yeah. And when I found out at Leicester bottom, I was like, that's a great signing. Now that's even more reason to watch Leicester. And Pratt, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually had no idea who he was.
No. Nor did we when we bought him. That's the funny thing. But Castagna as well. I mean, he is absolutely. He's been injured. He's just come back. But what a buy for us he was.
Yeah, he's a great replacement.
But and of Chelsea, who should we be looking out for on the Chelsea team now? I know you're saying you're not performing brilliantly, but who's going to cause us problems?
I have to think about who they're going to start because Lampard hasn't really been consistent lately. I mean, he started Rudiger last time, So I don't know if that's going to happen. Striking options, I don't know if he's going to put Werner. So if he puts Werner, I'm hoping that you guys should be watching out for him. I hope that he's going to be scoring more in the next coming game. So I would say Werner definitely, and Ziyech, of course. He's been doing quite well. His passes are always in the box. They're like yesterday. I don't know if you watched the game against Fulham. We should have definitely won by a lot more goals, and it was mainly because of him. He provided great passes that should have been. It was just all it required was a tap in, and so yeah, definitely watch out for Ziyech, the wizard.
I must admit, I didn't watch the game, believe it or not, but I feel your pain on that, because although we won 2-0, we should have been sort of 4 or 5 ahead, definitely.
At this point, I'm just hoping for the 3 points, so for the victory, because we hadn't had a win in the Premier League since the West Ham game, so we needed that win really badly.
And to be honest with you, we've struggled at home. Our away form has been good, but playing at home, because of course there's not really the advantage of playing at home with no crowds, but we've struggled. But we managed to sort of stop the rot on Sunday, yesterday, wasn't it? I'm completely lost with who's playing what, when, and where. But yeah, we managed to get the win. And is there anybody in your team that you're thinking, like, well, like I say, we've got Inacho, and I don't know what you know about the guy, but we got him from Man City for 30 million. And if Vardy is injured, and he went off holding his hamstring and hip, so we don't know. Hopefully he won't be. Inacho isn't a natural goal scorer, shall we say, to put it nicely.
Yeah.
Is there a player in your side that you think, God, why does Frank keep picking him?
Well, like I said, I am a fan of Tammy Abraham, but we bought Timo Werner for a reason. I think we should be giving him a chance. So every time he starts Tammy Abraham up front instead of Werner, I'm a bit like skeptical. I think he should be given Werner a lot more chance, because right now you can clearly see, and with the game yesterday, that the player is lacking confidence, and it's only by giving him more playing time that his confidence will receive a boost. So if we start Tammy Abraham against Leicester, I'll be a bit disappointed.
Do you know what I love about this game? And it doesn't matter whether you're from Belgium, England, Spain, America, Australia, wherever you're from, you can have two fans from the same club supporting the same club saying completely opposite things.
Yeah.
We do this opposition view show. We do a web version on www.leicestertillidie.com, which is our website, and the gentleman that does that, which is from a local Chelsea fan club, and I asked him who his donkey, as in who his bad player it is, and he went for Werner.
Oh well, he's not giving Werner a chance at all then.
He did basically say it was hard to pick one, but just because of the chances he misses.
Yeah. But then again, it's all because of lack of confidence. I think a lot of players go through this. I would consider myself a bit kind of a positive fan. If you hear a lot of Chelsea fans or just football fans in general, they used to be very critical about their own team. I consider myself very positive because I always have high hopes for my team. So I might be wrong with what I'm saying, but I still think towards the end of the season, Werner will have good stats, and by next season, he'll be top scorer in the league.
I think the problem, that's a bold statement, isn't it? He might have to wait till Vardy retires to get that. Just say that. It is, and the problem with strikers is when they're not scoring, that is what they're judged on.
They're not
judged on what else they can bring to the game, which is a lot, with some strikers taking people away out the game, moving defenders about, but they are judged on the goals. And just to end, and finally, that talking of goals, that does lead me very nicely, because of course we're the Foxes. Your mascot's a lion, so I've got to go with the Lion King there. I think this will be a tough game, because it always is against Chelsea.
It's going to be a very exciting game.
And even looking at the recent form, I've actually gone for a 1-1 draw. So I'm going to ask you now to put your head on the block and tell me what you think the score is going to be.
Oh, like I said, I'm a positive fan, so I want to go with a 2-1 win for Chelsea because we're back in our winning ways, and I'm confident for that. But I would not be surprised with a draw also.
If we beat you, you know I'm going to troll you on Facebook, don't you?
Sure.
You might want to unfriend me now, just in case. Brad's gone here. He's gone 1-0 City. That was Facebook user. Brad's gone here 3-0 to Leicester. Brad is also saying pretty much what you're saying. Werner is world class once his confidence is higher and goals flow. He'll come good for Chelsea. And I think we know the answer to this one. Andy's actually saying, who is your all-time favourite player? I think we know that, don't we?
For Chelsea or?
I'm guessing for Chelsea, yes.
Oh yeah, then of course it's Hazard. Hazard will always be my favorite player. I love his style. I also love him as a on and off the pitch. He's respected by a lot of players, which is pretty rare for a football fan, for a football player.
Yeah.
So I think he's a great player to have.
Really? Well, I'd like to say good luck to you, but I would be totally lying. All this about the game's the big winner. I always say it's bollocks. You want your team to win, and you want your team to do well. But after Wednesday, after Wednesday, we play on Tuesday. So Wednesday onwards, good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck in the Champions League. I can say that fairly because I say we're not in that. Thanks so much for joining us, Alex, and coming all the way from Belgium. And thank you for letting us have Tillemans, Pratt, and Castagna.
No worries. Thank you for having me on the show. It was a great chat. And good luck to Leicester in the Europa League, of course.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you, Alex. We'll have to get you on for the return match later in the year.
Of course. Anytime.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, mate. Take care. And remember, stay safe, mate.
You too. Have a good evening.
And you. Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So, is it going to be a draw or a win? I'm still going to stick with my my draw. I've just got a feeling about it. Got a feeling in my water. That could be my age, of course, you know. Brett Ahern there. He's going to, good evening, Brett. Nice to join us just as we're finishing, but nice to have you along. 2-1 Leicester. Here we go. Keep John Terry away from your wife. That's how to distract John Terry when he was playing. Put all the wives down that side of the pitch wherever he's playing. But guys, that's been the opposition view. My thanks so much to Alex for joining us from Belgium. It's been great to have him on. Very honest guy there. Very nice guy. And like I say, good luck to them in the Champions League. It's Tuesday. It's 8:15. We'll be back tomorrow, which is Monday. I'm in your life every night. You might as well just accept me into your life. We'll be back on Monday at 7 o'clock with the preview show with me and Craig. Have a good rest of the weekend, and I will see you tomorrow night. Take care and stay safe now. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.